Hi guys, welcome to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are going to build Aubrey Hall from the Netflix series Bridgerton, season 2 to be exact. And this is a very lovely estate that I absolutely fell in love with when I watched the show. For those who haven't watched the show, no biggie, I won't spoil anything. But I will maybe sometimes, talk about some characters or something. Just ignore that. It is an absolutely beautiful estate and also a great family home for your very rich Sims. So I thought this is a great build to do. It was also very interesting for me because it's a very, symmetric, Georgian kind of nice classical building. And I just wanted to do something like this again. And yeah, so for those who don't know, Aubrey Hall is the summer residence of the Bridgertons. Yeah, that's the family the whole series is named after. And just think Bridgerton as, I would say, kind of like a Pride and Prejudice romantic novel, but with an alternate universe twist kind of thing. So you can see that as well in the, depiction of the clothing apparently. I'm not that good in the clothing, but I can definitely spot a fake plant when I see them in a show, and that's what they use here a lot of times. So you will have kind of a very over-romanticized environment, I guess. But that's exactly what I thought would be really fun to do in The Sims, because it's kind of like this over-dramatic, almost kitsch plasticky idea behind it. And I kind of think that's also, it kind of is like Sims. So for me, I thought this is very, very cool. We can do something and build something in The Sims from the show. And I'm pretty sure that lots and lots of people who play The Sims maybe have heard of Bridgerton. I don't know if you like this, but you will definitely like this house because I definitely fall in love with it. So the whole house is based on Wortham Park, which is a real estate. And Wortham Park does, I think they did the exterior shots. For the interior shots, I'm not that sure about that. But the whole layout of this is basically built, I took that from Wortham Park. Then the decorating is basically Sims and also restriction of Sims. So I kind of built then by going for playability. Does this make sense with playing with Sims, for example? And then also, of course, I have some restrictions in the build mode because we can only build, 4 stories up. There are certain color swatches that don't match or don't match the time and, stuff like that. I didn't use any CC as always, but I used all of the packs that I have, which is all of them. So feel free to download this and try it out if you can, if it's playable for you with all the missing objects, since we don't have certain packs. But for those who want to have this house and have it look like it looks like, I think the exterior is fully Discover University, which is a great pack if you are into these classical, especially English Georgian buildings, I would say. So that's great if you are into that kind of architecture and also want to tell a story like this. Discover University has all of the objects for that, which is kind of fun. So yeah, Wortham Park was kind of helpful to look up the layout of it, interior as exterior, look at some shots. Of course, for Bridgerton, they put lots and lots of fake plants there. Lots and lots of exterior all around the house, which I will later also put in there. I also took some freedom with the exterior. So there's, for example, a modern annex missing. I think they even CGI'd that out for the show. And I also didn't see the whole, aspect of this, adding this modern kind of probably later built annex there as well. And I also, of course, had my restriction because this is on a 64 by 64 lot. Again, I'm sorry, this is a big lot. I kind of can't do small, apparently. And I had so much garden left, and probably this Wortham Park has like this huge garden park area, of course. So I do a Sims version here, right? But what you will see in the garden is, of course, the Pall Mall setup with a pavilion. There will be the grave. of the father. This is not a spoiler. And also there will be a little swampy area. But yeah, basically I also made this a little bit more symmetric as it is. I think over time there were like some, maybe stuff not restored or something. I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't want to look so much at the real Wortham Park because it looks kind of different in Bridgerton. And yeah, the Sims version was just, restricting me a little bit here anyway. So I was like, okay, we do the Bridgerton version because it's like so quirky, kind of over the top, right? With the wisteria and lots of these plants. But I thought this kind of, fits the whole theme here because it's so over the top. So what I tried to recreate is, for example, the paths here on the exterior because, we never really see how that is. And I was just like, let's keep it simple because your Sims will go through the doors anyways because it's the shortest path and you can't tell your Sims to go around stuff. Not really, right? So, I didn't bother that much with pathing. I just wanted it to look like gravel and like not as like a asphalt road, of course. And also there's a little firefly patch on the front because that's actually it should be a bee patch, right? Like with bees, but we don't have a bee animation patch in the Sims build mode, so yeah, it's gonna be a firefly. So for those who know, and for those who don't, you have little fireflies, which look actually really, really nice at night in The Sims. And I just thought these are like cute looking, it kind of adds a little bit more life to a whole build, these animations. So I kind of try to use them whenever I can. And for the back, I tried my best to put the whole pavilion in, which is basically, just a platform with some columns, wooden columns and spandrels, and then I put like a rug on top and stuff like that to kind of have this tent feel because we didn't have any tents that would fit the theme here, and curtains and stuff like that. So I kind of made a pretend pavilion, which is also easy to delete for those who don't want that in the back and maybe want to have an elaborate hedge maze or something like that. It's easier to delete a whole room, which this is basically, but just without walls in The Sims, than, having to build all of it all over again. So basically the Pall Mall setup was something I wanted to do because we had so much garden left and so much space left. I definitely needed this really, really big lot, which is a 64 by 64 lot, to have it fit on the slot because the house itself is already so big, but it's just very wide, right? It doesn't have a square kind of layout, so I still had so much garden left. So yeah, the whole Pall Mall setup is something that happens in the show, and I was like, okay, yeah, we can kind of do that. So it kind of tells also the story a little bit of what happens here in the Bridgerton season 2 Bridgerton series season 2. There we go. The German trying to speak English again. Sometimes really would actually like to not do any voiceover work, but then sometimes I think stuff like my whole ideas behind it get lost because I don't talk about it. So yeah, it's always like a struggle for me to do the voiceovers. So I'm always happy when you guys actually like me to do that, because I would not actually do that myself. So here we have the grave. So there's this little grave with the 2 benches that we see in this season, and on the other side I have the swampy marshland patch or whatever it is. So we have that there, and if it's raining, I think your Sims can have little puddles and stuff like that as well. But that's gameplay stuff, which I'm not that knowledgeable about, but basically that's a whole garden, a little bit more wild greenery, right? Like it's not this very kempt garden, which I actually liked because it's a little bit easier to do the garden like that. Then I started, of course, with the entrance area, which has like this gallery on top. So I really, really like this. And I played around again with the floor decorations here to make this look a little bit more regal. Also, throughout this whole build, I will put lots and lots of these golden framed, I would always say, paintings, which we don't have that many of, but don't get me wrong, we don't need any more, right? But like for these, they have so many paintings all over the walls, right? And yeah, it's so repetitive in The Sims because they only come, like, it's one painting, but it comes in different swatches of the frame. But then it would mean I just have like the same painting all over again and again and again. It's a little bit exhausting. Then I did the kitchen first as a room because I always forget about the kitchens, and then your Sims can't cook and like survive in this house. So yeah, there's a small little kitchen. So your Sims can cook there, or like your butler can cook there. Or what I've learned, people have cooking slaves. Simlish cooking slaves, because it takes so much time to cook in The Sims. So they have just one dedicated Sim just doing all the cooking. Okay. So yeah, that can, cook in that kitchen. I tested that. It's all working fine. Then I did the library, which was the hardest one to do the whole color swatches, because throughout the whole series in Aubrey Hall, the lighting is very warm colored. I guess they tried to do the, candle lighting thing, but it made it really hard to figure out sometimes, is it blue or is it white, right? Like light blue looks kind of grayish and stuff like that. So sometimes I don't get the colors right, and sometimes I don't have the colors right because there's not the certain color swatches in The Sims for that certain object. So yeah, sometimes I will go into the build without recording and then redo the colors because I kind of tried to figure out how to do that properly. And sometimes I just can't do the layout like it is here, because still, even though this is a big house, the Sims tiles are kind of small, right? Like actually this would be still way bigger. But yeah, you always have to kind of see if I always go by exterior first and then the interior. So the exterior has to match the whole proportions of the build, and that sometimes makes it harder to do the furnishing on the inside if you see that in the show and see, oh my god, this is absolutely not like it looks in the show. It's also small now. But yeah, it's totally playable in The Sims, and it's kind of, I think, decently sized for a whole estate. It could be bigger in The Sims, right? Like, so don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think it's decently sized, and also because it just oh my god, this is kind of funny. Just has 3 levels, right? It's okay. It's not a skyscraper. So yeah, basically sometimes I had to come up with putting lots and lots of objects over one another. And that basically meant for the dining table, for example, that's actually 3 tables. It's a long 3 by 1 table and then 1 by 1 round tables at the end. To make it look like a one big table kind of thing. So stuff like that. But I think your Sims will sit next to each other and still talk, right? Like they can do that. And we will see lots and lots of the same me placing lots and lots of the same paintings and then putting other smaller paintings inside of that frame, blocking them. And I did the same with paintings and mirrors sometimes. So there's sometimes a mirror inside of the painting, covering the painting. So it looks like a really elaborate mirror with a golden frame, basically. So yeah, also the tool mod by Twisted Maxi helped me a lot here by resizing the whole canvases and stuff like that. And then on the other side of the, which the library is on the left, so to speak, if you get in. And then on the right side, there should be a really, really long, I think it's a bedroom? I can't remember. I haven't studied the Wortham Park thing that much. It just gave me like a good idea about the layout where something should be. But yeah, I was like, okay, they have a ball there, and there's apparently no ballroom in Wortham Park. At least I haven't seen it. But the whole ballroom is definitely shot somewhere else, or in a, in a studio premises somewhere, because that could, never. That doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. There's like a stairs and stuff like that. But I thought, hey, I already do Aubrey Hall from the series, and they have this ball there. So I need the ballroom, and I kind of, did some, I call it build magic or something like that, with fake stairs because there's a stairs, it's like a 2-story ballroom or something. And I did this with certain platforms and objects to make it look as if it's a 2-story high kind of thing going on there. But yeah, so basically for the ballroom to work, there is a buffet table and there's a dance floor and lots of floral decorations because they have that there, and everyone wears pink. I think pink is kind of like a theme for that ball. Also with pink, sides and stuff like that. So I went with pink, just, to kind of emulate this whole thing. And then I did a bedroom, which is the only bedroom downstairs. I think this is supposed to be the master bedroom, I'm not sure. But yeah, I went with the color theme from the bedroom that you can see in some of the flashbacks in season 2. Just put it like that. So that's what I went with. And then apparently on the Wortham Park interior layout, there was a music room or art room or something like that. I was like, yeah, cool, we can put like an easel there and we have a piano in The Sims. So let's do that. But the whole room is so small. The whole piano is like so huge. So yeah, I'm sorry, I have this huge piano there. But I actually like the idea to have like a separate room with piano, so always like the piano. I also could use a red swatch this time because I kind of thought, oh, it kind of looks cool in red. It has a little more oomph when it's in red. Kind of is a funny swatch. And then I went upstairs and did all of the bedrooms. So basically I started with Kate's and Edwina. Yeah, that's the name. Guest room, and it has this very interesting, I think it's a blue color, but with the warm lighting it looks this green color, aquamarine teal color, and I kind of like that. So I experimented a little bit with the wallpaper color and the Decor to the Max kit wall panels, to make it look a little bit more regal. All of the bedrooms, I think every room has a fireplace, even the bathrooms, if I remember correctly. So if you have the season's expansion pack installed for The Sims 4, you will have, you can do the fireplace warms the room kind of play style. So you have that. Unfortunately, lots and lots of the wall-mounted candle sconces are actually supposed to be electrical in The Sims 4. They're, marked being electrical device or electrical lighting. And this is also why this is not like an off-the-grid kind of lot. But then again, I also put like bathrooms in there just because that makes it just playable in The Sims 4. We don't have any chamber pots and stuff like that. So, you have that, right? But we have that in all of the classical buildings I do because it's just otherwise not possible to do these houses, accurately for the time period. But then again, Bridgerton is not that accurate anyway, so, here you go. You have a bathroom. Lots of them. Actually, 5 of them. There are 2 downstairs, 2 upstairs, and 1 on the way top floor. So... it's actually really nicely spread out. And then I did the bedrooms basically accordingly. I only did the Kate and Edwina guest room, kind of with the same color theme. The objects, how they are placed and stuff like that. I tried to mimic this in the layout here by choosing the rooms and stuff like that. And also Benedict's room. And the rest is just me experimenting with lots and lots of these objects, the color themes. Like I sometimes went really, really bold. And now looking at it, I'm like, ugh, that's actually horrible. I would redo that. But I really wanted to use certain swatches and kind of have, kind of know the feel of it in the game, if that makes any sense. So for example, the blue bedroom, I kind of imagine it being for Eloise. There's also a bookcase because she likes to read and stuff like that, right? And like sometimes I put like little objects there to kind of mimic maybe this is the bedroom for one of the children and stuff like that, right? That's what they like, so I put that in the bedroom. Doesn't really make sense sometimes, but you know what I mean. And then all of the levels have some sort of salon hangout spot or hangout room in the middle. I just thought it makes it a little bit more playable. I also think some of the bedrooms could be easily done, like turned into a nursery maybe for your, playing, or maybe an office and stuff like that. So if you play with some Sims family that is not, the Bridgertons and stuff like that, I think it's easier to for people to redecorate the houses than to build them, right? Like, I think people have decorating down. I don't have to tell you how to decorate stuff. I'm actually not that good at it because I always hate doing it. But yeah, it was fun for me to do the whole, what looks kind of Baroque and what does look a little bit more neoclassical and stuff like that. You know, looking at the different pieces that we have in The Sims that would fit this whole theme here. And what kind of objects kind of match certain swatches, because they're all from different packs, and we all know, like, if you have so many packs like I do, the swatches are sometimes off. There are certain swatches that are probably meant to be, you know, to kind of match, but they're not really. So that was interesting to go with, because we don't have that many wallpapers that fit the theme, but now with the Decor to the Max kit wall panels, you can make everything look as if it has this kind of colorful painted paneling, which I kind of really like. So I could do that here. And yeah, it's a little bit more fun. So yeah, the blue room on the other end is Benedict's room. I just assume it is because we see him sitting there and painting and stuff like that. And being high. So yeah, the color theme is basically the only thing that I kind of copied here, and lots of easels. There is the table where they sit sometimes and talk. Yeah, stuff like that. You know, I kind of have to eyeball it to fit everything in. And, you know, kind of decide on that, where to put which room. So basically, mea culpa if that's not the correct way how it looks like. This is also a little bit more Sims playability, I would say. Also, lots and lots of the mirrors with the sconces on. That's something I used, I think, in my Pride and Prejudice build. I just like that because it fills up the walls so nicely, right? And you can look everything a little bit more symmetrical, which is definitely a whole theme for the interior design of these houses. And yeah, I just like that. So yeah, here we have, for example, a salon again on the third and most upper floor, which just has a big bathroom, 2 bedrooms, and the salon thing. You could also easily turn this into like the servants' quarters. If you have the vintage glamour stuff pack, you can have butlers living on your lot and stuff like that, right? But maybe there's also mods for that, so who knows? But yeah, basically I was just looking at all the objects if they fit the kind of theming a little bit more here. And definitely the red salon is a little bit more out there. I think I would never do that again. But now that I did it, you know, it's okay. I just wanted to try out the red. I kind of wanted to have a red room, kind of see how far we can go here to make it still bearable, in my opinion. But yeah, this is basically the whole house, guys. If you want to rebuild this, here is a little setup so you also know where everything is, right? You can pause the video if you want to. And yeah, basically this is where everything is. Now we go into the panning shots so you can have a better look at everything. I know the speed build part is always so quick. But yeah, I really, really like how this turned out. I think this is a very beautiful house. And with the whole Sims touch to it and like the whole plants and the wisterias everywhere, kind of has a very, you know, I kind of like it. It almost looks magical. But yeah, it is definitely a really, really nice house. And after I've done this, I think I built this for, again, 40 hours or something. It was a very long build again. You know, we're watching this series while building this, stopping the series on a certain time frame, and then trying to rebuild this. Yeah. But it looks absolutely beautiful. I'm really, really happy again, right? I wouldn't put out a video about anything where I'm like, okay, this is absolute garbage. But yeah, I think it has interesting color swatches when I didn't go by the series because we just don't see these rooms. But that was just me playing around with the interior design that's possible in The Sims, basically. And also I think now, after doing so many classical buildings and classical family houses, I think this is time for me to maybe do something modern. But yeah, I definitely don't want to do anything in that era in the next month or so, because I'm kind of oversaturated. I think I've used all of these certain objects there are for this era kind of thing, kind of built. Definitely enough now, right? Like I kind of want to move on to other builds. So if you have any ideas about a modern build, or especially community lots are more of my thing, what I like. So if you have something that's kind of more out there, then let me know. Because I still don't know what I want to do next. Maybe something for the very much hinted at werewolf pack, right? That may come out soon. But yeah, the Sims community is like the developers hinted at werewolves coming in the next gameplay pack. So maybe there will be some werewolf themed builds. I don't know. But yeah, I really, really like this. It's hard to do this with just base game. Let's just put it like that. Definitely you need some certain packs for this to work, right? And like have the objects that kind of fit the whole theme. I definitely have some more rooms that I personally like more than others. Where I personally think, okay, this is a color theme that I kind of like very much. But I didn't want to do all blue rooms because my favorite color is blue and I always tend to go for blue and white all the time. And yeah, I kind of found it interesting that I kind of this time was like, okay, let's try out green swatches. Let's see how that looks. But yeah, definitely there are some kids' rooms, you know, with toys, because in season 2, some of the kids are still a little bit young, and I just thought, hey, maybe they have these quirky toys, and I usually never do kids' rooms, but, you know, I was like, okay, I can fit like a huge teddy bear in here, no problem like that. And yeah, I kind of try to make it as colorful as it is in the series, kind of, you know, the whole series kind of has this magical, fantastical, colorful set, I would say, also the clothing and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, this is actually really, really interesting. You know, try that out in The Sims, because it's also like this quirky kind of colorful cartoony setting sometimes. So it fitted so well together. But yeah, this is basically the whole build, guys. You can download this for free. It's up on the Sims 4 gallery. And as always, you can find the download link to the Sims 4 gallery in the video description down below. So you can put it into your game for free, play with it, play around, renovate it. I don't care. Once it's up on the gallery, all of my builds are kind of, you know, for you guys, free to use and do whatever. Feel free to tag me if you play with it, you know, on social media. I'm at Simproved almost on every platform. But yeah, if you like this, I hope you give it a thumbs up. And I think as a YouTuber, I'm supposed to say, please subscribe to my channel. But yeah, maybe if you like this, recommend this to other Simmers. That, I think, is the thing that I would like more than, I think always subscribing is such a, yeah, I don't know. It just feels weird to me. I'm not a typical very good at doing this YouTube stuff. I think I'm too old already. Anyways, this is basically the whole Aubrey Hall Bridgerton build, guys. Took me over 40 hours, I think 42, 43 again, which is the usual cap that I have apparently on all of these big builds. But yeah, let me know as always what to build next, and I hope you like this, and yeah, hope this inspired you for your gameplay, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!